CinemaCon is next week. Paramount is going to be there, so you guys know we're going to be talking about Sonic the Hedgehog. Hey, what's up everyone, it's SpeedSuperSonic for you guys, another video. In this video today, we are back talking about the Sonic the Hedgehog movie universe because there's been a lot of discussion floating around the community, the film industry, about Paramount's presence that is going to be at CinemaCon and how Sonic is going to tie into that. So, before we dive into any of this, for those of you who aren't aware, what the heck is CinemaCon? CinemaCon is essentially the world's largest gathering of all of the different movie theater companies and also the movie studios and tech companies and people who work with the theater companies discussing the future of the film industry and what they have to look forward to. So all of the big studios are going to be there, including Paramount, including other studios like Disney and Universal and Warner Brothers and a bunch of other different ones as well. Really just giving everybody a taste of what they can look forward to and expect coming up in the future for all of the different movies that they have coming to the theaters. Sonic has consistently had a presence there. If you guys recall, last year Sonic Movie 3 had a large presence at CinemaCon showing the first bit of footage. I think that's where the news of Keanu Reeves playing Shadow first broke, or at least the report started coming out. And same applies to Sonic Movie 2 and Sonic Movie 1. So there's been a lot of discussion of if we're going to see Sonic Movie 4 there, as well as something that has also been discussed a lot, and that is the potential of a Shadow the Hedgehog spinoff or some kind of Sonic movie universe spinoff. But we've mainly been talking about a Shadow one, as there's been a report out by Daniel RPK, I believe, stating that Sonic Movie 3 performed well enough to where they believe that they could do a Shadow spinoff, whether it be a movie or a TV show. Not really specifying which one. And today in this video, we're really just here to talk about if it's going to happen. Will we see a Sonic presence at CinemaCon? Because this is all happening next week on Thursday, so it's not very far away whatsoever. We're under a week from Paramount having their panel, so I think it's good that we talk about this. Will we see Sonic at CinemaCon? I believe partially, but I don't believe it's going to be significant whatsoever. Why is this? Well, for a few things. One, let's mainly talk about Sonic Movie 4 first before we get into the Shadow spin-off discussion. Sonic Movie 4 hasn't even started filming yet, so if anybody was even thinking about footage or a trailer or a first look or maybe news on who could voice Amy and or Metal Sonic, hold your gosh darn horses. With this news dropping in April, we're only going to be around 4 months removed from the release of Sonic Movie 3, so there's still a lot that needs to happen with 4 before we get to showing anything or going into major significant news about it. Let's also not forget that the movie releases in March of 2027, so it's very far away, but I do believe Sonic will have some form of a presence for a few reasons. I think they will talk about the success of Sonic Movie 3 because Sonic Movie 3 was Paramount's biggest movie of 2024. That is big. That is significant. There was a lot of Paramount movies that came out last year that were pretty big, and Sonic being able to be the largest of those, a lot of which were big IP films, things that have been long anticipated like Gladiator 2. Sonic being the studio's biggest movie period, it's significant, and I think they will make a highlight of that on why the theaters should continue to have interest in Paramount films, specifically Sonic. And I think that that might translate into them talking about Sonic Movie 4 very briefly. Like I said, there's nothing to really show off. The film is far away, there's not enough of the film that's been in development for them to show off yet, but I think they will reveal as much info as they can, simply saying, hey, we have Sonic 4 in development, it's gonna go along smoothly, we have a release date set for 2027, and we plan on doing a lot more with the franchise. I think that's more along the lines of what you'll see from Sonic representation at CinemaCon for Sonic Movie 4 more than anything. Highlighting movie 3's success and talking about how that is going to translate into Sonic Movie 4 later down the road. We're now a little, just when I say a little, we're a little under 2 years away from Sonic Movie 4 releasing in theaters, so that isn't too long in the grand scheme of things. A year and a lot of change. We're essentially still at the 2-year mark, but I expect a lot of the momentum for 4 to start this year, with them filming probably very, very late this year, if not the very beginning of next year, and then they'll just get the train rolling, and then the marketing campaign will start towards the tail end of next year. And I think you'll probably hear more about Sonic Movie 4 at CinemaCon next year. I think that's where we'll probably get a more solid look at the movie. Now, for the other project that we talked about, the Shadow spinoff, I don't believe we will be hearing about any kind of spin-off project for Shadow unless it's a movie. And that's the biggest thing. If they choose to greenlight a Shadow the Hedgehog movie, there's a very good chance they will announce that at CinemaCon. A lot of people say that CinemaCon just simply is to talk about stuff that's already announced and reveal more stuff in relation to that. That's not true. They announce movies there and announce future plans. In fact, Paramount, I think last year, announced that a Last Ronin Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles live-action R-rated movie was in the works, something that was not public knowledge whatsoever. So they're no stranger to announcing stuff there. So the possibility of them announcing a Shadow spin-off project is a possibility if it is a movie. Now, if it's a TV show, don't expect to hear about it. If the Shadow spin-off project or a Knuckles Season 2 or whatever they might choose to do with the Sonic universe when it comes to spin-offs, if it's a TV show, they can't really talk about it there. It wouldn't make any sense because, like I told you guys earlier, this is a meeting between the movie theaters and the movie studios. A Shadow Paramount Plus series or a Knuckles Season 2 wouldn't be playing in theaters, so they really have no reason to talk about that there. There's zero reason why movie theater investors would be like, huh, yeah, that makes sense. Cool, a Shadow TV show that's not going to play on our screens. Very cool. Didn't make no sense whatsoever. So the big hope that we have is that Sonic Movie 3 performed well enough to where they can greenlight a Shadow movie, which would be very cool. I think everybody wants to see that. I think that the character of Shadow shows that he can very much so hold on his own when it comes to being a character at the forefront of something. I think you could center a marketing campaign around the character of Shadow, around Keanu Reeves playing that character, and make a very cool action-packed story with that character. Maybe do something a little more grounded, not as grandiose as Sonic Movie 3. Keep that budget a little lower so you're able to make more of a profit. While still, yes, I do think a Shadow movie could perform well and be profitable at the box office. It probably won't perform as well as Sonic Movie 3 did with everything that was going on behind that movie. I still think the movie could perform very well, but probably just making a little more than the first Sonic movie, maybe around the same amount, if not a little less than Sonic Movie 2, just simply going based off assumptions. But I think a lot of people would be down for a Shadow movie. I would be very happy if that's something that they could announce. Would I say to expect this? No, but there has been, of course, murmurings about a Shadow spin-off project being in development, being in the works, so that is definitely something that I would look forward to and potentially keep an eye out for at Paramount's presentation on April 3rd, I believe it is, next Thursday. Or actually, well, this upcoming Thursday. So in terms of live action Sonic, that is very much so what you could probably expect. Offhand mention of how well Sonic Movie 3 did, teasing of Sonic Movie 4, but probably still giving the info that we already know. The potential of a Shadow spin-off movie being announced, but once again, if it is a show, if it's a Knuckles Season 2, no, don't expect anything in regards to any TV projects or anything like that. Something, however, that I think is a very dark horse, something I would not want you guys to anticipate or expect whatsoever, so don't be disappointed if this doesn't pop up in your newsfeed on Thursday, but there's always the possibility that because of how lucrative Sonic has been for Paramount, that they're going to want to dip into as many pools with this franchise as possible. And that could be animated projects. People have been yearning for an animated Sonic movie, and Paramount has shown that they can do live action movies of a franchise and also do animated movies of a franchise. Ninja Turtles is kind of different because the live action franchise ended in 2016, and then the new animated movie came out in 2023 with no live action movie really in sight right now, so I wouldn't really count that. Mainly look at Transformers. In 2023 there was the Rise of the Beast film, and then this past year there was the animated movie Transformers 1, which was amazing. If Paramount has faith, there's always the possibility that they might be floating around the idea of an animated Sonic movie franchise and doing something a little different than what they're doing with the live action series. Once again, like I said, this is a dark horse. Don't expect this, but if there is an opportunity for more Sonic things to be talked about at CinemaCon, this is something to maybe keep an eye out for, but you never know, it might be really early to start doing animated Sonic movies already from Paramount. That might be a lot, but with the track record that Paramount has had recently with their animated projects like Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem, with Transformers 1, I would love to see a Sonic movie from them. I'm sure they would get the best team that they could with a great vision. I would love to see that. In terms of Sonic at CinemaCon, guys, that's everything that I think you guys can expect or hope for, or at least there's a maybe tiny 1% or 0.5% chance of a possibility of it getting announced there, so keep an eye out for it, guys. We will be talking about it if Sonic pops up at CinemaCon this upcoming Thursday, April 3rd. It's going to be exciting regardless for the movie industry, but in terms of Sonic, which I know what all you guys are here for, that is what I think you guys can look forward to and expect. I would expect at least a Sonic mention, but in terms of news, keep an eye out, keep your fingers crossed, say your prayers at night, see what comes up. But with that, guys, this is where I pass it off to you and ask what you think. Do you think that Sonic will have a presence at CinemaCon this year? Do you think that we will hear about Sonic Movie 4, a new Shadow movie, or maybe even an animated Sonic movie project? Let me know in the comment section down below. I'd love to know what you guys have to say. Feel free to follow my social media links on my Twitter and Instagram in the description below. You can follow those fun things in my life, future content, and don't think Sonic the Hedgehog. But most importantly, if you're not subscribed, make sure that you're subscribed. This is the #1 destination on YouTube for all things Sonic. Whether it's video games, TV shows, movies, comics, merchandise, and more, we talk about it all. I have a lot of really cool stuff in the works for you guys. I have a big video coming to you guys on Friday. A lot of really cool stuff is on the way. Stay tuned for all things Sonic Racing Cross World. Stay tuned for everything Sonic coming up this year. I know there's some really cool stuff that I can't talk about coming up, but I can't wait for you guys to see it. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.
And be right by the motherfucking seaside, dog. Everything I see, I got a dream. I thought these leaves would go and take me out the dark. I know everything I wanted to follow me.